Hello there, what is going on, everybody? We're talking StarCraft, the tabletop miniatures game Wave 2. We're going to talk about all of the release details, the dates, the prices, the new starters that are coming, basically everything that was leaked over the weekend. Gen Con has just subsided, and we got a lot of news. We're going to be talking about everything. We've already started talking about some of it, but this is all about StarCraft, the miniatures game from Archon Studios. This is a super hyped game. If you haven't already checked it out, definitely check this out. Very fun game. Gorgeous, gorgeous miniatures. And definitely seems to be doing very well so far. So what's next for it? Wave 2 was announced. And there's a lot of cool stuff with Wave 2. We're going to talk about this. If you guys are new here to the channel, we talk about StarCraft quite a bit. We are absolutely going to have some hands-on Wave 2 stuff here coming up very, very soon, hopefully by the end of the month. But there are certain times where we have to kind of hold off until we get the blessing from Archon to release. So with that being said, I'm very, very excited to show you more of this stuff in the near future, very up close and personal details. But for now, we're going to go with what has been officially released. Make sure you're subscribed. Also, we're still doing that $25 Amazon gift card giveaway, so you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos. It's as simple as that to enter to win that. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited about for StarCraft, whether it's something that has already been announced or something that you want them to do. So let's start off talking about Zeratul. Now, Zeratul was the first promo that they came out. It came out at Spiel last year at Essen. We're finally getting a proper release for Zeratul with Wave 2. It is going to have a different sculpt than the promotional Zeratul, and of course we get a look at him here. He is, he's not like drastically different from the other one, but the other one had a different attack pose and a custom base. You're still going to be getting the version of Zeratul that is cloaked. You're still going to get a clear sprue with this version of Zeratul. They are correcting one problem from the promotional Zeratul, and that they are giving you two bases in this one. Now, they are going to be colored bases. You're not getting a clear base. I think one of the things they found, they talked about this in their Ask Me Anything, that it was difficult to assemble a clear miniature on a clear base because you had to put the feet in very specific holes and everything, and it was hard to get everything to line up on a clear base, so they decided to just go with a solid base and just basically give you two of the opaque bases that you can then kind of do what you want with. Now, Zeratul is kind of cool. He is going to be $39 for his individual box. If you want to, now you may want to pick him up if you already have the promotional Zeratul. This way you have an option. You have two different sculpts that you can use. He is also going to come with a new faction card and a new tactical card, also a new mission card. You're going to be able to play as the Nerazim. He also has a new unit card. Well, for one, you're getting his unit cards. So you're actually going to get the full rules for Zeratul. You're also going to be getting a new unit card for Adepts. And this is kind of the platform for how they're going to do new heroes in the future. We're going to be seeing new heroes come out with Wave 3 as well, but that's in the future. We'll talk more about Wave 3 in the future, because they did talk a little bit about Wave 3, and we know that, beyond that, we're going to see flyers and a lot of that kind of other stuff. Bigger stuff is even potentially coming. And again, this isn't like brand new details. This is kind of stuff they've been talking about all along. So we're going to figure the rest of this on for Wave 2. But it's important because this Zeratul box is going to sort of set the standard for how hero releases in the future are going to come. You're going to get a different faction card. You're going to get a tactical cards and a mission card. But you're also going to be getting a new way to run a different type of our existing unit. In kind of a similar way that like Kerrigan is in the the two-player starter, but has an alternate way that you can run Kerrigan's Brood, right? Like that's kind of the thing that you're going to be getting with different heroes. They're going to have a different way to run an existing unit. So that's cool. It's going to give a little extra value there. Now, granted, a lot of the unit cards and the information for them are all in the app, so it's not like you have to have the printed version to be able to do it, but some people kind of like to have the printed versions of the cards for quick reference, and I certainly do. So for those of you who want to pick up Zeratul, if you don't already have him, this is your chance to get him. If you do already have him, there is some goodies in the box if you want to pick up an extra one beyond just having an extra model, although it's a cool sculpt, so I think people will be kind of excited to pick up Zeratul. All right, moving forward into the big nasty stuff. Let's start off with the Siege Tank. Okay, the Siege Tank is probably the most wanted unit out of the entire game. Definitely my most wanted unit. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it's going to be $79 MSRP. You can pre-order this. They're going to have pre-orders that are going this month. They want you to pre-order through your FLGS. And of course, definitely, there were some people, there were some complaints initially when the game first launched that it wasn't too favorable to FLGSs, and there's a whole new FLGS kind of working. If you're new to tabletop gaming, FLGS is slang for friendly local game store. I sometimes use acronyms that people don't understand, so I'm sure most of you who go to local game stores already know that term, but just for newcomers, because I know StarCraft has pulled in some newcomers. Now, an $80 price tag on this does not mean that you will have to pay, or $79 price tag doesn't mean that that's exactly what you're going to pay, because again, that's an MSRP. They are allowing local game stores to offer discounts and things like that. So, you can potentially get this a lot cheaper. And considering the size of this tank is 150 millimeter base, it is very, very big. And I will be able to show you soon how big it is. It's very, very big and gorgeous. And it's really not. You're really going to like this. By the way, the turret spins around too, which is super cool. A lot of folks have been asking the question, well, can I magnetize it? There's siege mode and then there's tank mode. You really can't magnetize this and make it both siege and tank mode. It does have a token that is a little mini siege tank that you can put down with it when it is in siege mode. So you can build it whichever way you want, or you can buy 2 and build 1 each way, or you can buy 4 and build 2 of them. 2 of them in tank mode, 2 of them in siege mode. You can do it whatever you want as far as however you're planning on building it. But it is not. It's not something that you have to build it. One way or the other. So you're absolutely fine just building it one way. Now, I'm more of a fan of siege mode, but I think some people are going to like tank mode also. Both cool. I will say that Archon didn't ask me anything, and they did bring up a point that yes, one person did actually try to magnetize this, and such that it could transform. Now, they were a professional hobbyist, and they had to use 71 magnets. And with that many magnets, it wasn't stable. And you had to kind of treat it like a very, very, very delicate piece. So even playing with it. They tried to show it on stream, and just moving it from here to here to get it in front of the camera, it broke and fell apart into like 40 pieces. You're not going to be able to magnetize this thing. I mean, if you do it, you'll be just doing it out of pure defiance just because I said you're not going to be able to magnetize it, right? But, I mean, good. So while it might be possible, you won't be playable, as is the key. Because it'll just be falling apart in the middle of the game. And you'll probably lose it on your way to the store. So, yeah. Basically, the long and the short, you're going to have to build it. You're going to have to pick one and build it that way. But it's very, very cool. It does have a blast template that it's kind of 2 parts that this one assembles. Very large blast template, and it has a big blast attack. And that's kind of one of the themes for this wave is area denial. Zerg have ravagers. They're going to be getting 2 ravagers per unit. They're going to get 2 in the box. The ravagers are going to be $59 MSRP, and that's not bad because considering you're getting 2 models. These guys are also pretty big for the Zerg. They morph from roaches, if you remember that from the game, and they treat them that way in the game. They actually can morph from roaches mid-game, which is really cool. They also come with some corrosive bile tokens because they can kind of launch those, and it's sort of a lot like a way that they can sort of do area denial by kind of launching this artillery, and that's one of the things that the Ravagers are going to be doing. They do have sort of this the clear acrylic launching corrosive bile effect that's kind of coming out of their butts as they're shooting their butt juices on you, or it's bile, it's not butt juices, but it's from their gut technically, but it comes out of their butt. Saying a lot of butt, gut, Pizza Hut rhyming words. Anyway, the corrosive bile but they look pretty cool. Yeah, I think Zerg players are going to be very happy with these guys. They're a little weird for me. They're not my favorite unit. in the game. I'm more of a siege tank guy, but they're cool. Now, I do also really like the Protoss. And what we have coming up next. Oh yeah, and there's a good look at both of the... You're gonna get 2 Ravagers, so that's kind of an overall look at them. Honestly, it's a gorgeous sculpt. They're really, really pretty. And yeah, they're going to be fun. They're going to be really fun. We also have the Immortals. So Protoss have their big contribution to this one. Big heavy shields, super strong dual cannons on these guys. They're absolutely going to be gorgeous. A really cool thing about these is they have like removable pieces. You can see here you've got like all of the particle effects on. They've got all these shieldy effects that go on the shoulders and the center. Even the blasty effects that come out of the guns, all of that is removable. It doesn't actually have to stay on. You don't have to glue it that way. You can kind of snap it in and then take it off. If you have multiple Immortals, you can use that to differentiate them. They're very, very cool looking. As a matter of fact, you can see right here, this guy doesn't have those, and this guy does. So, again, Immortals are going to look really, really cool, and they're also pretty big. Almost as big as siege tanks. Really, really big. I think a little taller profile, but less wide. Siege tanks are just like so wide, especially when they're in siege mode. They're crazy wide. Really big, gorgeous centerpiece models. These are really nice. You guys are going to love these. It's very, very cool stuff. So these guys are real pretty. A lot of these blue bits that you're seeing on the model are actually going to be clear plastic. The clear plastic pieces that are going to have that light blue hue to them. But you're looking at professionally painted versions of them. If you want to see the whole process, hopefully you're subscribed, because we'll have some really cool stuff for you guys later on. So with that being said, let's move forward. We also are getting a new terrain piece for you terrain folks. And this one is actually an important terrain piece. This is the Lost Temple ramp. This one has kind of a ramp to go up and then a big platform. This is like straight out of like base defense in the video game. You put your Marines up on there and they shoot down. You put your siege tank up on there and they shoot down as the little Zerglings kind of run around before they can get up to the ramp. It just screams like that this was designed by people who played the video game a lot. It's a cool terrain piece. Oh, by the way, this is going to only MSRP at $39, and the Immortal as MSRPing at $69. Nice. So those are MSRP prices for these. Yeah, the Lost Temple ramp, it does have a pretty good kind of profile if you're looking at a top-down view right here. And this is multiple. This is meant to kind of fit into the same vibe and theme as all of the terrain they already have for the game. Everything that was sold initially as part of Wave 1 and also that came in the 2-player starter set. It's going to fit into the same aesthetic as all of that. Which is pretty cool. Now, if you didn't get the Founders Edition, you're still looking to get in, no worries, because there's a whole lot more than just this coming. Now, Wave 2, the street date is 21 September. So they're aiming for not that far away. You can get your pre-orders in. You want to get this in before the end of August. August 31st, I think, is the cutoff for trying to get your pre-orders in to meet that street date of 21 September. Beyond that, you're just going to have to try and find this stuff in the wild. Which, again, you go to your local game store, definitely order it there. All right, let's go ahead and talk about what else they're going to have. They're going to have new starters. Okay, single faction starters were also announced, and they are going to be varying in price a little bit. Not going to be the same as the Founders Edition starters. You're not going to have your heroes in the box. They kind of swap out the heroes with like the elite unit that was in Wave 1. So your Protoss is going to start at $129. This is all in US dollars. Even though they're a Polish company, the price is in dollars. $129 gets you the new Protoss starter. Now, this is definitely an option for folks that maybe only picked up the Founders Edition and they're looking to just bolster their stuff. You're going to get, you're going to get basically all this, all the units you had in the core set except for the hero. You're not going to get the pylon as well because, again, that goes with the Artanis model. You can, if you buy an Artanis, I believe the Artanis expansion has the pylon in that, and then it also comes in the Protoss Founders Edition starter. But everything else you're going to get in here, and then and you're going to get again, all of the elites from Wave 1 also come in that box. Same thing goes with the Zerg. Yeah, the Zerg. Now the Zerg and Terran are both going to be a little cheaper, I believe. The Zerg is $119. You're not getting Kerrigan in here, but you are getting Hydralisks, right? So again, you're getting those elites. So it's a good way to get you. And these are about 1,000 point boxes, which for people who are new to StarCraft or new to gaming in general, this is enough for a small battle and is enough for a half size. This is half of what you would need to have a full 2,000 point battle. So if you buy 2 of these, then you should be good to go. Or if you already have your starter box, this is a great way to kind of get you farther along the way there and kind of round out your army and give you a little bit more depth. Or it's just a great launching and great starting point. You're not going to get all the bells and whistles that 2-player Founders Edition. That was a very special deal to get people started, because that one also had the terrain and that other stuff. But you get everything you need to start playing Zerg in this one. And then your Terrans is 119 as well. Again, you're not going to see Jim Raynor in here or his little droid, but you are you're going to be getting all your other. You're going to get your medics and your Marines and your Marauders and your Goliath in there. Goliath is a fun miniature too. Really, really cool. Really fun. We used I had a Goliath get torn apart in the last battle report we posted for StarCraft. But no, I do enjoy these guys. I like the Terrans. They're pretty fun. They did also announce a rule book. It's a soft cover, kind of shiny, glossy, real nice looking rule book. That'll be available for $9.99 if you want to have a physical copy of the rules. I will probably pick that up because I do like having a physical copy of the rules. And while I could take the PDF and just go print it out somewhere, like, that's going to cost me probably even more. Don't like doing that. Plus, if you go to Kinko's or whatever, and then they're just like, hey, we're not going to print this, there's copyright material in here, so just buy the rule, buy the rules. And honestly, that's an insanely good price for a physically printed rule book, and it's a thick rule book too. Like, those normally cost $100. As a matter of fact, when he said the rules were $9.99, I thought he said the rules were $99.99, and I was just like, yeah, that tracks. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow. And then he clarified $9.99, and I was like, I must have misheard him. There's no way it's $9.99, but it's $9.99. That's a good price for a rulebook compared to what the going rate is, and they still have to kind of ship those and then pay, the shipping partners and the distributors and the FLGS. Everybody has a markup and everything. So, that's a astoundingly good price for the rulebook. Very cool stuff. All of this comes out 21 September. And then beyond that, we'll be moving into Wave 3 and Wave 4 and everything else that's going to be coming. There's a lot of really cool stuff that is on the way. I'm excited. I want to see Nova and the snipers and ghosts and stuff like that. And again, those things are all coming, but more is definitely coming. So this is our Wave 2 update. Stay tuned. We're going to be giving you up close and personal looks at this stuff here in the very near future. That's going to do it for this video. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Stay tuned for more super groovy stuff. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all. And always wash your socks.